This is Stevie J from Glove Up or Shut Up and AngryMarks.com, as well as the Wrestling Observer newsletter with your UFC Ultimate Fighter Brazil 3 finale results. We had some quick fights early, some decisive fights in the middle, a couple of boring fights on the main card, and then it all came back around at the very end. We started out with Pedro Munhoz and Matt Hobar at Bantamweight. This one only needed 2 minutes and 47 seconds before Munhoz got the TKO and lived up to the reputation he came into with his last fight that didn't go his way. Then we had some UFC TUF Brazil 3 competitors on the Fight Pass prelims. Marcos Rogério de Lima defeated Richardson Moreira with a KO 20 seconds into the first round. Dizam. At middleweight, Ricardo Abreu defeated Wagner Silva with a rear naked choke a minute 6 into the second round. So, two very decisive fights that will earn the TUF Brazil 3 competitors another fight in the octagon. As for the losers, well, hopefully they get another shot, but that's not guaranteed when you're on the Fight Pass and you didn't win TUF Brazil or TUF whatever you're on and you're on a Fight Pass fight. Usually, you get one shot and then you're done. At featherweight, Kevin Souza defeated Markadiva via TKO with 8 seconds left to go in the second round. It was a gutty performance by Adiva, but he was just getting overwhelmed there at the end. Gazan Maldonado defeated Paulo Thiago with a unanimous decision, 30-27 times 2 and 29-28. Maldonado just took him apart, really. It just wasn't Thiago's night. Thiago never seemed to get out of first gear. Speaking of never getting out of first gear, Elias Silvério pretty much picked apart Ernest Chavez, and then just to put icing on the cake, he got a rear naked choke at 4:21 of the third round. So, a completely dominant performance by Silvério, perhaps far more so than Maldonado, who just controlled Thiago but never really overwhelmed him to the degree Silvério overwhelmed Chavez in the third round. And speaking of dominant, Rashid Magomedov, Rodrigo Dom, 30-27 across the board. No, don't watch this fight. It was no damn good. Robbie Peralta defeated Honey Jason in a BS decision, 29-28, 27-33, 27. So it was a split decision, and whatever judge decided Robbie Peralta won all 3 rounds of that fight was just as bad as the one who did the same thing on Berlin with another BS decision. So we had bad judging in Berlin and bad judging in Brazil tonight. No doubt about Damian Maia and Alexander Yakovlev, though. Maia got it 30-27 across the board and deserved it. He was the only one that was really doing anything, and somebody compared Yakovlev to the generic template for the Ultimate Fighter video game, like the Creative Fighter. That's pretty much what he was in this fight. He was just insert generic fighter here, and Damian Maia, it was actually kind of disappointing that Maia didn't submit him or finish him, because Maia was just completely outclassing this guy. Yakovlev probably has a future if he improves the holes in his game, but going against a world-class grappler like Maia, he just didn't have a chance. Warlley Alves took a third round to finally defeat Márcio Alexandre Jr., but he got the technical submission via guillotine choke, and then we moved on to the heavyweight finals, which was Shoeface, Antônio Carlos Jr., a.k.a. Cara de Sapato, defeating Vitor Miranda, a.k.a. Lex Luthor. And it was a very disappointing performance by Miranda, who looked like a world killer in the Ultimate Fighter Brazil, but just didn't have it here because Antônio Carlos was taking him down and controlling him at will. And the crowd liked it. I didn't think it was very exciting. 30-27 times 2 and 29-28, which leads us to the main event where in the most lopsided of, put one fighter against another and they have no chance, more so than Maia versus Yakovlev, Stipe Miocic and Fábio Maldonado, not even close. Miocic rocked him and started dropping hammer fists on the ground, and Mario Yamasaki made the merciful save. This only took 35 seconds.